Mataji, you want me to share this with you?
What happened, Mataji?
No, shall I share? I asked.
YouTube link?
Mataji, just to make it easy for you because you're doing it.
Yeah, sure, Mataji, sure.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, so glories to Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharajas and all the assembled Vaishnavas. This is Dasa.
Hare Krishna Kirtida Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your association. Welcome to the call, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisance of glories to Srila Prabhupada, Sri Guru and Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Sheetal joining from Texas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining every single day and giving your association. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna, Jivinita Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev Ki Jai, Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gopika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every single day and chanting so beautifully. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Sri Guru and Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. Yashavati from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Ishimati Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your association. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Vinita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Srila Prabhupada. This is Preeti Vilasni Dasa from Atlanta.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Vilasni Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your association. Welcome to the call and all glories to your services, Mataji. Hari Bol. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Yes, we can start.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Uttara from Atlanta.
Hare Krishna, Uttara Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining in. I think this is the first time you are announcing your name, Mataji. Welcome to our group. Please do join us every single day. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I am Radha Peridasi from India. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radha Pyari Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining. Please do join us regularly. Hari Bol. So we'll start the recording. It's 10 o'clock. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. Today is Friday. So we have from this Friday, we are starting a new series that is the effective Japa insights. So, but today we have His Grace Adi Gadadhar Prabhu to enlighten us on the topic of Krsna-Mantra Japa Sada. So before I hand over the call to Prabhuji, I would like to read today's Srila Prabhupada's quote. Just give me a minute. Yeah, 1 second. Let me read Srila Prabhupada's quote. Always remember Krishna, who is your dearmost friend, and always serve him just to please him, and he will give you all intelligence how to be a first class devotee. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your valuable time and association. This week we have a double dhamaka. I mean, 2 times in this week you have given your association, Prabhuji. You have started on Monday. This week started by you, and on Friday we are closing the week by your class, Prabhu. So fortunate to have you on this call, and you are starting this Japa series. I'm really very fortunate, Prabhuji. Please take over the call, Prabhu. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mataji, for your kind words. I am very grateful to all of you. Very grateful to Preeti Vilasini Mataji for giving me this opportunity to serve all of you in this way. I was supposed to be off today and serving this katha from home, but unfortunately a physician colleague called in sick and I was called to cover today and tomorrow. So my apologies. I'm not properly dressed and I'm doing this from the hospital. So please forgive me. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरो वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पदां सहगणा ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धान्त सरस्वती नामिने श्रीवार्षभानवी देवी दयिताय कृपाब्धये कृष्ण संबंध विज्ञान दायिने प्रभवे नमः। माधुर्योज्वल प्रेमाढ्य श्रीरूपानुग भक्तिद श्री गौर करुणा शक्ति विग्रहाय नमोस्तुते। नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये दीनतारिणे रूपानुग विरुद्ध सिद्धान्तध्वान्तहारिणे नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षाद् वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्भ रसाम्बोधे पादाम्बुजाय ते नमः। नमो भक्ति विनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्ति स्वरूपाय रूपानुगवराय ते गौरविर्भाव भूमेस्त्वं निर्देष्टा सज्जन प्रिय वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, the topic that has been assigned is Japa. We are going to have a series of classes on Japa. Bhakti Sangha Japa group. Always up to something. This group, Bhakti Sangha Japa group, always up to something. Now they have come up with this 4-part series on Japa. Always doing something to inspire us, always doing something to keep Krishna consciousness interesting and enlivening. So this is very nice. So the next 45 minutes or so, I will try to speak something on Japa. Even though I am not qualified, I don't have good sadhana, I don't have sadachar, I don't have good behavior, I don't have good spiritual practices. So actually I am not qualified to speak. But it is said that when spiritual superiors, senior devotees invite, give us service, by doing that one becomes purified. It is said that by reading the holy scriptures one becomes purified. It is said that by pleasing the assembled devotees like all of you, one can make spiritual progress. So I am making this attempt to speak just to please all of you, so that I will be purified. And I hope and pray that by the mercy of Shri Guru, Shri Gauranga, Shri Gopinath, all of you also feel inspired. So the topic is Japa. So the first question is, we will be going in question answer format today, because most of our scriptures are in that format, is it not? Bhagavad Gita, it's question answers. Arjun is asking questions and Krishna is answering. Srimad Bhagavatam is question answers. Parishit Maharaj is asking questions and Shukdev Goswami is answering. Shaunakadi Rishis are asking questions and our Sutta Goswami is answering. Vidurji is asking questions and Maitreya Muni is answering. Vasudeva Maharaj is asking questions, Shripad Narad Muni is answering. The Navayogendras are answering to Maharaj Nimi. Then Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking questions and Shripad Narad Muni is answering. So even the Upanishads, even Kali Santarna Upanishad, where our Hare Krishna Mahamantra is mentioned, the mantra that we do Japa, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It is also question answer format. Shripad Narad Muni asks his father, Lord Brahmaji, questions and Lord Brahmaji answers. Shripad Narad Muni, who is Param Vaishnava Acharya, mentioned throughout our scriptures, and he is one of the acharyas in our Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya also. Shripad Narad Muni, a great pure devotee, Mahajan, Mahabhagvat, he goes to Shri Brahmaji in this Upanishad called Kali Santarna Upanishad. And Shripad Narad Muni asks Brahmaji that in Kali Yuga, what can the people do to protect themselves from the influence of Kali? What can people do in the age of Kali to attain spiritual perfection? And Lord Narad Muni, when he asks this very, very important, relevant question, his father, Lord Brahmaji, who is also a Mahajan and who is also the Acharya of our Sampradaya, the ISKCON society is part of this branch of the Brahma Sampradaya, Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. And the first Sampradaya Acharya is Lord Brahmaji, and he's a Mahajan. So Lord Brahmaji in Kali Santarna Upanishad, which is one of the 108 Upanishads, tells his son Narad Muni that after searching through all the Vedic literatures, and the 4 Vedas are spoken by Lord Brahma, Chaturmukh Brahma, who is 4 mouths. So Brahmaji knows the Vedas. Vedas means all knowledge. After going through all the books of knowledge, after going through all the books of transcendental knowledge, I could not find a better solution for Kali Yuga than chanting of the 16-name Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Iti Shodashakam Namnam Kali Kalmashanashanam Nata Parataropaya Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate. There is no better upaya. There is no better solution for Kali Yuga. Kali Kalmashanashanam. To counteract and to destroy the ill effects of Kali Yuga. Because Kali Yuga is marked by quarrel, kalah, lati iti Kali. Kali Yuga is marked by hypocrisy. Kali Yuga is marked by the destruction of the 4 pillars of religion. There is some truthfulness in Kali Yuga, but as Kali Yuga progresses, that truthfulness will also be gone. Cleanliness is already gone. Austerity is already gone. And mercifulness, compassion is already gone. These 3 limbs are gone in Kali Yuga. Only 1 limb, dharma, is standing on 1 limb as mentioned in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And that is truthfulness, but that is also degrading. And towards the end of Kali Yuga, everything will be gone. All good qualities will be gone. So the best treatment for this Kali Yuga, which is marked by breaking of the regulative principles, there is illicit sex, there is intoxication, there is gambling, there is meat eating, there is quarrel, there is hypocrisy. People are short-lived. People are ill-informed. People are always disturbed by diseases, wars, and everything. Prayana alpaisha sabya kalavasmin yuge jana manda sumanda matayo manda bhagya upadruta. The best way to counteract the ill effects of this horrible age of Kali, it is not the golden age, it is not the silver age, it is not the copper age. It is not Satya, Treta, Dwapar. It is Kali Yuga. It is the Iron Age. Iron Age, the worst of the 4 yugas as far as the spiritual consciousness of people is concerned. The best way to counteract, the best treatment for Kali Yuga is chanting these 16 names, Mahamantra. Iti Sho Dashakam Nam Nam. 16. Sho Dashakam means 16. Nam Nam. It's a mantra made with only Nam. Other mantras have different words in it, like Om, Namaha, Namo, Bhagavate, or different Mama. Different names are, different words are there in a mantra, and the name is the essence. Kali Yuge Nama Binu Nahi Anya Dharma. Sarva Mantra Sara Nam E Shastra Marma. Chaitanya Charitamrita describes Kali Kale Nam Binu Nahi Anya Dharma. In Kali Yuga there is no other dharma other than Nam. Sarva Mantra Sara Nam E Shastra Marma. The essence of all mantras is the Nam. The essence of Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya is Vasudevaya. The essence of Om Namo Narayanaya is Narayanaya. The essence of Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama is Shri Krishna. So all the mantras are there, and the heart, the marma, the essence of that mantra, Sarva Mantra Sar, the Sar of that mantra is the Nam in that mantra. If you remove the Nam from the mantra, then the mantra will lose its potency. So Nam is most essential, Krishna's name, because Krishna's name is not an ordinary material sound vibration. It is a spiritual personality, the holy name. We call it Nam Prabhu. Shri Padma Puran describes Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto Abhinnatvan Nama Naminu. That the name of Krishna, Nama Chintamani, it is spiritually wish fulfilling. Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya, it is fully conscious. Rasa, it is the abode of all spiritual mellows. Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha, it is spiritual. Chaitanya means Chinmaya, it is spiritual, and it is Rasa Vigraha. It has got all the spiritual rasa in it. Bhakti rasa, Vraj ras is there in the Nam, Krishna. Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. Purna Shuddho, the Nam doesn't become contaminated. It is always completely pure. Purna Shuddho, Nitya Mukto, and it is eternally liberated. The material world is a place of bondage, and the holy name does not belong to the material world. But mercifully it descends, because holy name is very merciful. It mercifully descends. Kali Kale Nam Rupe Krishna Avatar. It is Nam Avatar of Krishna. Avatar, it descends from the spiritual world. Golokela Premadana Hari Nam Sankirtan. That Hari Nam from spiritual world has descended. We should not think that some language has created the Nam. Are Bhagwan ka to koi naam nahi hota. Bas kisi naam se bula lo. Krishna, Ram. Na. The name of Krishna is not something given to Krishna. The name is eternal. Nitya. Purna Shuddho. Nitya. Mukto. It is from the spiritual world, the name of Krishna. Abhinnatvan Nama Naminu. It is non-different from the person Krishna. Krishna's name is non-different from the person Krishna. Our name is different. We may have a pet name. We may have a legal name. We may have an initiated name. But there is a difference between the name and the person in the material world, but not in spiritual life. There is no difference between Krishna and Krishna Nam. So, Abhinnatvan Nama Nama. And Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. Nama Haite Haya Sarva Jagata Nistar. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita describes in Kali Yuga, Krishna has descended in the form of his name. Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. Nama Haite Haya Sarva Jagata Nistar. This Nam will deliver the whole world. Hari Bol. Therefore, it is very merciful. So, Iti Shodashakam Nam Nam Kali Kalmashanashanam Natah Parataropai Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate. After going through all the Vedas, there is no better solution than this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is mentioned in Kali-Santarna Upanishad. Sometimes people make arguments that actually it is Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu changed the sequence, but this is false. Certain devotees have done research on this, and they have actually found older manuscripts of the Kali-Santarna Upanishad, where the sequence is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vedic literature is very vast, and both the mantras are to be found. Both are found. In the Vedic literature, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare is also mentioned, and Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare is also mentioned. Both the mantras are there. And they are both consisting of the same three names, Hare, Krishna, and Ram. So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavad by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur 2 times has spoken this Hare Krishna Mahamantra and asked us all to chant it. And Mahaprabhu says in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavad, there are no hard and fast rules to chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. There are rules to chant other mantras, but for Hare Krishna Mahamantra, there are no rules. Mahaprabhu says you can do japa of this mantra. You can clap your hands, 4 or 5 people can come together and sing it. And this mantra will lead to Krishna Prem. Sri Chaitanya Bhagavad describes this in the Adi Khanda as well as in the Madhya Khanda. Twice Hare Krishna Mahamantra appears in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavad. So on the authority of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Mahaprabhu never changed anything. Study the Leela of Mahaprabhu. Is there any evidence where Mahaprabhu tampered with the Shastra? Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranite. Dharma is what Mahaprabhu tells. Mahaprabhu is sakshat Bhagwan. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayaya. Krishna Krishna Chaitanya. He's Krishna only. But he's giving Krishna Prem. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the greatest Pandit this world has ever seen. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu strictly speaks based on Shastra. Every story Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, every verse Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quoted was strictly based on Srimad Bhagavatam and our Vedic Shastra. Show me one incident where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu changed the Shastra or tampered with the Shastric evidence. Never. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would make a statement throughout Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavatam. Would make a statement and substantiate it with Shastric evidence from Vishnu Puran, Padma Puran, Srimad Bhagavatam. Always. That is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because he is not only Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he is also our Sampradaya Acharya. He is Sampradaya Acharya of the Gaudiya Sampradaya. And Mahaprabhu setting the standard. Yajad acharti shreshta tatta devetaro jana sayat pramanam kurute loka tad anuvartate. Mahaprabhu knows we will follow his example. And Mahaprabhu always makes a statement and substantiate with Shastra. Mahaprabhu never changed anything. It's an offense to say Mahaprabhu changed it from Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, from Hare Ram, Hare Krishna to Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. No, Mahaprabhu never ever changed anything. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare is the Mahamantra. It is mentioned in Kali Santana Upanishad. It is mentioned in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavad. And it was personally spoken by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the greatest authority. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu matamidam tatradara na para. We hold the opinion of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the highest esteem. Can there be a greater Pandit than Rupa and Sanatana Goswamis and Raghunath Das Goswamis and Jiva Goswami? They have all commented on the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. They have all personally chanted the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So that is the mantra that we do japa on. So now the question is, what is japa? The meaning of japa, the paribhasha, definition of japa has been given to us by Sri Dhyan Chandra Goswami in the line of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Sri Dhyan Chandra Goswami has written, Mano madhye sthito mantra, mantra madhye sthitam manaha, mano mantra samayuktam, etadhi japa lakshanam. What is japa? What is japa lakshanam? What are the characteristics of japa? Real japa, Sri Dhyan Chandra Goswami says, is mano madhye sthito mantra. The mantra is situated in our mind. हमारे मन में क्या है? मंत्र चल रहा है, मंत्र है, मंत्राकार वृत्ति. We are meditating on the mantra. Inside is mantra. And mantra madhya sthitam mana. The mantra is in the mind and the mind is on the mantra. मन में क्या है? मंत्र है. मन किस पे है? मंत्र पे है. मनो मध्य स्थितो मंत्र, मंत्र मध्य स्थितम मनः. Mind is in the mantra and the mantra is in the mind. Mano mantra samayuktam. In this way, the mind and the mantra becomes one. Etadhi japa lakshanam. This is japa. Japa is deep. Japa is a yajna. Japa is a bona fide process of bhakti. But this is the definition. What does it mean? It simply means our mind should be fixed on the mantra, and the mantra should be fixed in our mind. In this way, the mind and the mantra should become one. That is japa. Mano mantra samayuktam etadhi japa lakshanam. If the mind is somewhere else, is that japa? No. Therefore, when api pramadaha, when there is pramad avastha, when there is neglect to the holy name, when there is inattentiveness in the chanting of japa, it is a namaprad. So we should chant it with focus. That is japa. Now, khaite shuite yathata namlay deshkal niyam nai sarva siddhi hai. That is also one siddhanta, that there are no hard and fast rules. Walking, eating, sleeping, talking, chatting, just let the naam go. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That time we are doing naam. That time we are doing kirtane sada hari. That is true. But what is japa? That is not japa. That is not japa. We are doing naam. Kirtane sada hari we are doing. Mahaprabhu has instructed. Krishna also instructs in Bhagavad Gita, Sadatam kirtayanto naam. So that we are doing by khaite shuite yathatha namle deshkal niyam sarva siddhi hai. That is going on. Naam namakari bahuda nija sarva siddhi tatrarpita niyamita smarane nakala. Naam ka smaran karne mein there are no niyam, hard and fast. To remember the holy name, to chant the holy name, no hard and fast rule. But what is japa? That is not japa. Japa is this one. Mano madhye sthito mantra, mantra madhye sthitam manah, mano mantra samayuktam etadhi japa lakshanam. That is japa. So japa is deep. Japa requires commitment. Japa has a paddhati. It has, this is Dhyan Chandra Paddhati, 1.64, this verse. So there's a paddhati, there's a method how bhajan is to be done, how japa is to be done. So japa is something else. So we can do nirantar naam. We should do nirantar naam. We must do nirantar naam. That is a siddhanta, yes. At the same time, we need to have specific time for a japa also. Srila Prabhupada said at least 2 hours and at least 16 rounds. Hare Krishna Mahamantra japa has to be done. That is a sadhana. Just like deity worship, archana is a sadhana. Hearing Srimad Bhagavatam class is a part of our sadhana. Studying Srila Prabhupada's books like Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srimad Bhagavatam is a sadhana. Swadhyay is sadhana. Similarly, japa is a sadhana. Japa is not naam, just taking naam. Ya khaite shuite, chalite phirite, yathadata naam le. That is not japa. That is naam, and that we must do. Because kirtane sada hari is the siddhanta. We must do. But japa also we must do. And what is the minimum japa? At least 2 hours every day. So that should be focused in a fixed position where we are not doing anything else. We are not driving, we are not walking, we are not doing anything else. No other activities going on. We are not looking at the phone. We are not speaking to anybody. We are just, this Hari Bhakti Vilas describes. So now, what are the types of japa? We saw what is japa. Japa means to privately chant a mantra. And the mantra should be fixed in the mind. Only then the mind will be delivered. Mana trayati iti mantra. What is mantra? We saw japa means to privately chant a mantra. That is the meaning of japa. Mano madhyasthita mantra, mantra madhyasthitam mana. Mano mantra samayuktam etadhi japa lakshanam. That is japa. So for japa, we need to privately chant, personally chant. Japa is personal. You have to chant a mantra. And what is a mantra? Manatrayati iti mantra. Mantra is that which liberates the mind. Therefore, the mind should be on the mantra and the mantra should be in the mind. Then the mind will become purified. And when the mind becomes purified, then our spiritual life is perfect. Therefore, our acharyas have given so much stress on the importance of controlling the mind. Lord Krishna also in Bhagavad Gita speaks so much about mind control. Man mana bhava bhakto. Give your mind to me, Krishna says. So controlling the mind is absolutely essential for a spiritualist. So mana trayati iti mantra. Now, what are the types of japa? Japa means privately chanting a mantra. What are the types of japa? So there are 3 types of japa. There is vachik, upamshu, and manasik. And these are described elaborately in Hari Bhakti Vilas of Srila Sanatana Goswami in the 17th Vilas. Shri Hari Bhakti Vilas, 17th Vilas, text number 155. It is said there are various types of japa, 3 types of japa. Trividho japa yajna. Japa is a yajna. And trividho, there are three types of japa. Trividho japa yajnaha syatasya bhedanani bodhata. Vachikascha, upamshuscha, manasascha, tridha mataha. There are 3 types of japa. There is vachik, upamshu, and manasik japa. Trayanam japa yajnanam. See, again the word japa yajna is used because japa is a yajna. Trayanam japa yajnanam shreyan syaduttottara. Vachikascha, upamshuscha, manasascha, tridhamata. They are sequentially, progressively superior to the previous one. Vachikascha, upamshuscha, manasascha. So the lowest type of japa is vachik, loudly chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Better than that is upamshu, where we are chanting within the mouth. We are not using the vocal cords, just using the lips and the tongue. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Like that. And even superior to that is when the mantra is going on in the mind. Because remember, what is japa lakshanam? Mano mantra samayuktam etadhi japa lakshanam. When mind and the mantra become completely in sync with each other, homogeneously one, yoga, they are linked in yoga. That is called japa. So therefore, manasik japa is the best, where the mind is going, the mantra is constantly going on in the mind. Whatever activities we are doing, but the mantra is going on. But manasik japa is something deeper than that. So let us see each of the japa techniques together. So definition of each of them. So text 156. Yad uchcha swaritaihi spashta shabdavat aksharaihi mantram ucharayed vyaktam japa yajnah sa vachikah. What is vachik japa? Definition of vachik japa. Vachik japa refers to chanting loudly, uchcha, loudly, and sometimes it becomes soft also because the throat might start hurting. But the point is, every syllable is pronounced distinctly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is vachik. The key words are that yad uchcha nicha, sometimes high, sometimes swaritaihi, spashta shabdavat aksharaihi. Each and every akshar is spashta, it is clearly pronounced. Japa yajna sa vachika. That is called vachik japa. Now, text 157. This is the 17th Vilas of Hari Bhakti Vilas. Shanairu charayen mantram ishtadishtau prachalayet. Kinchit shabdam swayam vidya dupanushu japa smritah. Vidyad upamshu japa smritah. What is upamshu japa? Upamshu japa refers to chanting of the mantra. It is generally soft. Sometimes it may be little Hare Krishna. Sometimes it may be little loud also, but sometimes soft. But the syllables of the mantra cannot be distinctly discerned. It cannot be distinctly discerned. Shanai, generally it is soft and slow, soft. Ucha, sometimes it goes up, but generally it is soft. Mantram. Ishadishtau prachalayet. Kinchit shabdam swayam. Vidya. Generally the syllables may not be very clearly discernible for the person who is listening because it is soft. It is going on softly, upamshu, not distinct. It goes Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So this is better than vachik, because vachik, only when your vocal cords are being used, you're consciously chanting, that is vachik. But upamshu goes on with breathing. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So upamshu is considered to be superior. Then what is Manasik japa. That is very important. Text 158. Dhiya yadakshara shrenya varnad varnam padat padam shabdartha chintanabhyasah sa ukto manasa japa. So manasik japa is very deep. Let us try to understand what is this manasik japa, why it is considered to be most superior. Manasa japa refers to chanting in which one mentally contemplates each syllable. Varnad varnam padat padam. Each and every syllable. Yad akshara shrenya. Each and every akshara, the mantra. Mantrakar vritti. It's called mantrakar vritti. In the mind, the mantra is there, etched in the mind. Each and every syllable. We can actually visualize the mantra in the mind. And Shabdartha Chintanabhyasa. The mind is contemplating on the meaning of the mantra. It is not mechanical anymore. It is deep. It is going on in the mind, deep within the mind. Every syllable of the mantra is there inside. And there is not only the mantrakar vritti, there is not only the contemplation on the syllables of the mantra constantly going on within, but there is also contemplation on the deep meaning of the mantra. What is my prayer when I am chanting this mantra? The meaning of the mantra. What is the meaning of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Srila Prabhupada has taught us that, my dear Radha and Krishna, please engage me in your eternal loving devotional service. So that meditation on the meaning of the mantra is going on in Manasik Japa. Therefore, Manasa Japa is the best. So that we have to understand. So the Manasa Japa is the best Japa for the sadhak. This is one Siddhanta. Now leave the Siddhanta aside. Manasa Japa is the best because the mind is absorbed in the mantra and in the meaning of the mantra. So, Shabdartha Chintana Abhyasa, it is said that there is Chintan, mantra artha Chintan is going on. And that Abhyas, that practice is there of being absorbed in the meaning of the mantra. That is Manasa Japa. It is the best for the sadhak. Please understand. Best for the sadhak. But what is best for others? What type of japa benefits the world? Yes, japa is a practice for one's own spiritual development. True. But we are all connected. And everything we do it for the pleasure of Guru, Gauranga, Gopinath. So according to them, for the whole world, which japa is best? And Naam Acharya for the Naam, Srila Haridas Thakur clearly says, both in Chaitanya Charitamrita and in Chaitanya Bhagavat, that Vachik Japa is best, loudly chanting is best. So it is not just some sentimental opinion of Srila Haridas Thakur, but it is approved by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Mahaprabhu hears this, because Mahaprabhu asks, hey Haridas Thakur in Chaitanya Charitamrita Lila, hey Haridas Thakur, how will the plants, trees, insects, animals, birds get delivered? They cannot chant the holy name. Srila Haridas Thakur says they will also be delivered by the devotees loudly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. When they loudly chant Krishna Nam, these animals and birds and trees who don't have the ability to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, just by hearing, they will get benefited. So, but this is not just an opinion of Srila Haridas Thakur that has been approved by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is also there in the Shastra. The opinion of Mahaprabhu is more than enough. Opinion of Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur is more than enough. There is also a reference in the Shastra. In the Brihad Naradiya Puran, there is a verse. Which japa is best? Please listen carefully. Japato hari namani sthane shata gunadhikaha atmanam cha punat uchchair japo shrotrin punati cha. Very beautiful. A person who chants Sri Harinam loudly is 100 times superior to one who chants quietly. Clearly it is mentioned. Japato harinamani sthane shata gunadhikaha atmanam cha punat. But uchchair japo shrotrin punati cha. So those who chant softly, they purify themselves. But those who chant loudly, Uchchayar Japo. So Japa can be Uchcha also. Please note down. Sometimes there is a misunderstanding that Japa has to be soft only. No, in Hari Bhakti Vilas we saw there are 3 types of Japa. There is Vachik, which is Uchcha Swara, which is loudly. There is Upamshu, which is within the mouth. And there is Manasik, which is in the mind. 3 types of Japa. And here it is said Uchchayar Japa. Shrotrin Punaticha purifies the hearer also. Anybody who hears the loud chanting, like Laksha Hira prostitute, heard the loud chanting of Srila Haridas Thakur, what happened to her? She became Haridasi. She became a Nam Japak. She became a Sadhavi. She became a pure devotee. Just by hearing from a pure devotee. So, loud chanting, Uchchayar Japa, this verse is there in Brihad Naradiya Puran, clearly said, Uchchayar Japa Shrotrin Punaticha. The loud Japa will purify the hearer, listener. Therefore, it is Shata Gunadhika. It is 100 times better than chanting softly. Upamshu or Manasik say 100 guna better, behtar. 100 guna better is Vachik Japa, loudly chanting. Why? For the simple reason that others are benefited. So why should we care about others? Well, because such entities like plants, trees, insects, birds, they cannot chant. They're not able to chant in that species. So it is our service to them to chant loudly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Let the transcendental vibration of Hare Krishna Mahamantra travel through space, travel through the ether. Let everyone benefit. Let the vibrations go, because there are so many vibrations of Prajalpa, so much vibration of Vaishnava Prad, Ninda is there. So let's counteract that by the transcendental vibration. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So they will be also delivered by hearing the loud chanting of the Uchchayar Japa. One who is doing Uchchayar Japa, loud chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. For their benefit, we should do it. That way, everyone is benefited. Therefore, it is 100 times better than soft chanting. So why should we care about others? Well, we care about others because we are all connected. We care about others because Mahaprabhu cares. We care about others because Krishna cares. So, caring for the spiritual welfare of others is very important. For example, in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antya Leela, 4th chapter, text number 126, it is said, famous verse, all of you know this verse, Prithivite achayata nagaradigram sarvatra prachara haibe moranam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, everywhere my name will be preached throughout this world. In as many cities, towns, villages as there are on the surface of the earth, my holy name will be preached and chanted everywhere. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 7, text 128, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Jare dekha tare kaha Krishna upadesh, amara gya guru haiya tara ei desh. And Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, wherever Mahaprabhu went in the South Indian tour, everywhere he gave the same instruction. Jare dekha tare kaha Krishna upadesh. Mahaprabhu wants preaching. In Chaitanya Bhagavat also, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu calls Haridas Thakur and Nityananda Guru. Shuno shuno Nityananda, shuno Haridas, amara agyay tumi kariya prakash, grihe grihe pratigehe koro ei bhiksha, bolo Krishna bhajo Krishna karo Krishna shiksha. Mahaprabhu, grihe grihe pratigehe. Go to every person, every grihastha, go to every house, everywhere you go, and you ask them to chant Krishna. Krishna's names, ask them to worship Krishna, and ask them to Koro Krishna Shiksha, ask them to tell others also about Krishna. So preaching is very dear to Mahaprabhu. Preaching is very dear to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada said, preaching is the symptom of spiritual life. Spiritual life exists. The symptom is there will be preaching, there will be prachar. Prana ache jar, se hetu prachar. In Vaishnav Ke, his beautiful bhajan, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada says, Prana ache jar, se hetu prachar. If you have life, then you should preach. The purpose of life is to preach. So therefore, loud chanting is recommended. Now, when we are chanting in a group, we should chant loudly so we can hear but we should not chant so loudly that others get disturbed. For loud chanting, we also have Harinam Sankirtan. For loud chanting, we also have the Aratis, where Hare Krishna Mahamantra is sung in the end. After Tulsi Arti, after Gaura Arti, after Guru Arti, we always sing Hare Krishna Mahamantra. After Mangal Arti, after Tulsi Arti, we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So that Harinam Sankirtan is there to chant loudly, but when we are in a group, we should not chant so loudly that others' japa gets disturbed. So that we should be careful when we are living in a society of devotees. So the next question is, so is japa important? We saw what is japa. We saw what are the types of japa. We saw which is the best japa for us, which is the best japa for others, from the point of view of prachar, from the point of view of Mahaprabhu. It is loud chanting. So, but now, is japa important? Do we really need to do japa? Yes, we need to do japa. All of us need to do japa. In fact, that is the only vow we take in sadhana. For regulative principle, that is nishedh. But what vidhi? There is vidhi and there is nishedh. Nishedh is I will not eat meat, I will not have illicit sex, I will not gamble, I will not take intoxicants. But what is the vidhi? We take a vow that I will chant at least 16 rounds every day. Japa. That is japa. So japa is the most important. Most important. It is said that Prabhupada always emphasize your maximum spiritual development depends on your japa. So japa is very important. Srila Prabhupada said preaching is the essence, right? So preaching is important, but for preaching we need purity. Prabhupada said purity is the force. And what purifies us? Cheto darpanam arjanam, Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. So it is the chanting of the holy names that purifies us. So is japa important? Yes, it is very important. That is the only vow we take. Okay, is there a Shastric reference for japa being important? Yes, there are several examples. In Sri Bhagavad Gita ji, 10th chapter, text number 25, Lord Krishna says, Maharshinam Bhrigur Aham Giram as eka aksharam yatnyanam japa yadnyosmi sthavaranam himalayah. Krishna says, of the great sages, I am the son of Brahma Bhrigu. Very powerful. Giram Asma Ekam Aksharam. Among the holy vibrations, I am the Ekakshar Om. I am Om Pranav. Of the sacrifices, I am the chanting of the holy names, Japa. Yajnanam Japa Yajnosmi. I am Japa Yajna. It is the best. Instead of some Ashwamedh Yajna, where there is killing of the horse, Gomedh Yajna, where there is killing of a cow, bloodshed is there. Why? Just do Japa Yajna. Just sit and do Japa Yajna. So, Yajnanam Japa Yajnosmi, Krishna says. And Sthavaranam Himalaya. Of the immovable things, I am the Himalayan mountains, where the Shaligram Shila is found. So anyway, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna clearly says, Yajnanam Japa Yajnosmi. Japa is most important. It is the best of the Yajnas. Now in Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, chapter 30th, text number 3, there is a very important verse. Maitreya Uvacha Prachetaso Antara Adadhau Pitur Adesha Karinaha Japa Yadnena Tapasa Puranjanam Atoshayan. So here Krishna is referred to as Puranjan, that great personality who descends into the spiritual world. Pura means this material world, and he comes here in this material world. So a living entity trapped in the material world is also called Puranjan. Srila Prabhupada Ji Maharaj explains. But Puranjan can also refer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. In this verse, Puranjan refers to Krishna. So the great sage Maitreya said, I'm reading the translation by Srila Prabhupada. So translation and purport by our beloved founder Acharya, Nitya Lila Pravishta, Shri Srimad Abhay Charana Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Again, this is Srimad Bhagavatam 4.30.3. Maitreya Uvacha Prachetasontara Udadhau Pitur Adesha Karinaha Japa Yadnena Tapasa Puranjanam Atoshayan. Translation. The great sage Maitreya Muni said, the sons of King Prachini Barhi, known as the Prachetas, the 10 sons, Prachetas, underwent severe austerities. They underwent severe austerity, tapasa. The word uses tapasa. They underwent severe austerities within the seawater to carry out the order of their father. What is the word used? That Pitur Adeshakarinah. Pitur Adeshakarinah. To fulfill the orders, carry out the orders of their father, Maharaj Prachini Barhi, the 10 sons, the Prachetas, went and performed tapasa, great tapasya, underwater. What happened? And what did they do? They did Japa Yadnena Tapasa. They did tapasya while doing Japa Yadnya. By chanting and repeating the mantras given by Lord Shiva. So they are in the Rudra Sampradaya. Their Gurudev is Lord Shiva, who is a Vaishnava Acharya, Mahajan. So they took the mantra from Lord Shiva and they chanted that mantra given to them by their Gurudev, Lord Shiva, Shankar Bhagwan. And what happened? What was the effect? Puranjanam atoshayan. Toshan means to please, to satisfy. They satisfied Puranjan. They satisfied the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Hari Bol. So what do we learn from this verse? Japa yadnena tapasa puranjanam atoshayan. If you want to satisfy samsiddhir hari toshanam. If you want to toshanam, Bhagwan ko satisfy karna hai, Bhagwan ko please karna hai. If you want to please the Lord, then you have to do Japa yadnya. It's clearly mentioned. Japa yadnena tapasa puranjanam atoshayan. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada Ji Maharaj writes, one can offer prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna directly. But if one repeats the prayers offered by great devotees like Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, or if one follows in the footsteps of great personalities, one can please the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna very easily. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So the mantra that we are doing Japa, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, which great Acharya has given us? Lord Brahmaji. He has spoken in the Kali Santana Upanishad. Narad Muniji has given this to us. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us. Sri Rup Sanatan Goswami, Jiva Goswami has written a full commentary explaining the meaning of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So there is another reference in Srimad Bhagavatam for importance of Japa. So first example we saw was Bhagavad Gita, Yajnanam Japa Yajñosmi. Then we saw Srimad Bhagavatam 4th canto, where the Prachetas, by doing Japa Yajnana Tapasa, Puranjanam Atoshayan, they satisfied the Supreme Lord. Now, Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, chapter 47, texts 23 and 24. So Krishna has gone to Mathura. He has sent Uddhavji as his messenger to pacify the hearts of the Brajvasis, specifically the gopis. He has sent a message for the gopis. But the gopis, they express to Uddhavji their great sorrow, their great lamentation in separation from Krishna. Srimati Radharani recited the Bhramar Geet. After that, Uddhavji is going to speak. This is verses 23 and 24. Shri Uddhava Uvacha Aho yuyam sma purnartha bhavatyo loka pujitaha vasudeve bhagavati yasyam it arpitam manaha. Translation and purports by the humble disciples of His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Shri Uddhavji said, certainly you gopis are all successful and you are universally worshipped. You are loka pujita. You are universally worshipped because you have dedicated your minds in this way to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vasudeva. Iti arpitam manaha. Iti arpitam manaha. You have given your, Krishna says man mana. You have given your mind to Krishna. Completely absorbed in Krishna. Iti arpitam mana. You have given your mind to Krishna, Vasudev. Vasudeve Bhagavati Yasyam it arpitam mana. Yasa means whose. Your minds are offered to Vasudeva Bhagavati, to Krishna, Vasudev. You have given your heart to Vasudev. Purport. Although other devotees have certainly surrendered their minds unto Lord Krishna, the gopis are unique in their intensity of their love. Intensity of their tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusha param. They are akam. The gopis are akam. Krishna bhakta akam or Krishna bhakta nishkam ataiva shanta. Bhukti mukti siddhi kami sakalai ashanta. Chaitanya Charitamrita describes. Next verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is 10.47.24. Uddhavji is saying, Dana vrata tapo homa japa swadhyaya samyamaihi shreyo bhir vividhais chanyaihi Krishne bhaktir hi sadhayate. Very important. Translation: devotional service unto Lord Krishna, Krishne bhakti. Devotional service unto Lord Krishna is attained by the following: Dan, charity; vrata, strict vows; tapah, austerities; homa, fire sacrifices; japa, private chanting of mantra. Definition of japa. What is definition of japa? Private chanting of mantra. Japa. It can be done loudly, it can be done softly, it can be done in the mind silently. Then japa, private chanting of mantras. Next way to please Krishna: Swadhyay, study of the Vedic literatures, studying Srimad Bhagavatam, studying Chaitanya Bhagavat, studying Chaitanya Charitamrita, studying Bhagavad Gita. That is called Swadhyay. Samyamai, and regulative principles: no meat eating, no illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling. These are the auspicious practices by which Vividahi, there are different practices, and there are others also, etc. Cha anyai Krishna bhakti hi sadhyate. Then Krishna can be satisfied, Krishna can be achieved. In the purport, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains the processes described here as follows: Dan, donations given to Lord Vishnu and his devotees. Clear. What is Dan? Donations given to Lord Krishna and his devotees. Number 2, Vrata, observing vows such as Ekadashi. Today we are doing the Ekadashi, Dvadashi fast. In the East Coast, today is the fasting. So not eating grains, not eating beans, reducing our eating, increasing our chanting and hearing. That is called Ekadashi Vrata. Ekadashi. That is the Vrata. Tapa. Tapasya is what? Tapa means renunciation of sense gratification for Krishna's sake. So there may be a cheesecake, but from a vegan restaurant. Well, I can have it. It's vegan. It doesn't have onion, garlic, eggs or meat. But no, it is from a restaurant. It has been cooked by someone who is not a devotee. It has not been offered to Krishna. It is not offerable to Krishna. I will not eat it. To give up sense gratification, which is available, for the sake of pleasing Krishna, for the sake of attaining Krishna, that is called tapasya. Tapo divyam putra kayena sattvam shuddhet. It purifies us, this tapasya. It is divya, for the sake of transcendental. We should not do tapasya to get money. I will do tapasya, I want money. I'll do tapasya, I want material success. That is not tapo divyam. That is not the tapasya that the prachetas did. That is not the tapasya that Maharaj Rishabdev recommended to his 100 sons. Tapo divyam. Tapasya means Katyayani Vrat. Waking up early in the morning, taking a cold bath in the Yamuna, eating only Havishya, fasting, praying to get Krishna. Krishna Darshana Lalasa. That is called tapasya. Austerity is giving up sense gratification for Krishna's sake. Homa means fire sacrifice dedicated to Lord Vishnu. So on Gita Jayanti, we have the Yajna, on Narsimha Chaturdashi, we have the fire Yajna. And there are many devotees also in our movement who are trained, young devotees who are getting trained into the Yajna. It's a great science and it can be done to please Krishna. So home is mentioned. Srimad Bhagavatam. This is 10th canto. Clearly it is said that home can be done, fire Yajna can be done to please Krishna. Krishna sadhayate. It can be an auspicious spiritual practice to get Krishna. So home is fire sacrifice dedicated to Krishna. Japa, privately chanting of the mantra of Krishna. Krsna-Mantra. So what is the topic today of our discussion? Sada Japa, Krishna. Sada Krsna-Mantra Japa. So always chanting different mantras of Krishna. Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the Gopal mantra that those who have received second initiation, they chant. So like that. These are called Krishna mantras. Privately chanting them. Of course, the Gopal mantra should not be chanted loudly. It is to be chanted silently. But Hare Krishna Mahamantra can be chanted softly or loudly. Mahaprabhu himself says in Chaitanya Bhagavad, you can chant it softly, you can chant it loudly, no problem. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada also explains in the purport. Swadhyay, studying Vedic literatures. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur here mentions Gopal Tapani Upanishad. Gopal Tapani Upanishad. You should read literatures like that. Srimad Bhagavatam, Gopal Tapani Upanishad. So clearly the importance of japa is mentioned here also in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. It is one of the methods of pleasing Krishna. Now, what precautions we should take while chanting japa? So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is mentioned in the Adi Lila 8.16. Bahu janma kare jadi shravana kirtana tabuta na paye Krishna pade prema dhana. Bahu janma kare yadi shravana kirtana. One goes on hearing and chanting bahu janma for many lifetimes. Tabuta na paye Krishna pade prema dhana. Still doesn't get Krishna prem. What is the reason? It is offenses. Namaprad. There are 10 offenses which Srila Prabhupada taught us to recite every day, so we remember them. So that is very important. We should remember them. Recently, I was at the ashram of Ajay Govind Prabhu and Kirtida Sundari Mataji and Ujjwal Rasananda Prabhu. And they know the 10 offenses by heart. And every day, japa, before starting japa, they recite that after Mangalarti, and then they chant japa. Very important to remember them, because if you remember, then it is very likely that we will be able to avoid them, or we will endeavor to avoid them. So we should know them. Then again, Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila chapter 8, text 29 and 30, very important verses. It is said in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Hena Krishna nama jadi lay bahubar tabu jadi prema nahe ashrudhar. If someone is chanting Krishna name many times, but still prem nahe, still there is no Krishna prem, nahe ashrudhar, and tears are not flowing from the eyes, what is the reason? Tabe jani aparadha tahate prachura Krishna nama bijata hai na kare ankura. Then you should understand that that person is a Vaishnava Aparadhi. He has done Nama Aparadha, 100%. Otherwise, it is not possible that we are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra and tears are not coming and love is not awakening in the heart. So we should know. Tabe jani aparad tahate prachur. Prachur aparad kiya hai usne. Bahut aparad kiya hai usne. He has committed a lot of aparads. That's why he's not getting Krishna prem. Hena Krishna nama jadi lay bahubar tabu jadi prema nahe ashrudhar. Tabe jani aparad tahate prachura Krishna nama bijata hai na kare ankura. Prem bij will not sprout. Ankur means to sprout. Krishna nama bijata hai na kare ankura. The Krishna nama will not fructify. The seed will not sprout the bhakti lata because of offenses. The prem ankur will not happen. How to avoid the offenses then? What is the precaution for japa? Avoid offenses. How to avoid offenses? I had personally asked this question to my Guru Maharaj, Param Pujya Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj, when I met him in Washington, D.C. In 2022, just last year, I asked him. And Srila Guru Maharaj said, there is no way around Trinadapi Suni Chena Taroriva Sahishnuna Amani Namanadena Kirtaniya Sada Hari. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antelila chapter 20th, verse number 21. Trinadapi Suni Chena. One should be more tolerant than a blade of grass. Taroriva Sahishnuna. One should be tolerant like the tree. So somewhere it is mentioned Taror Iva Sahishnuna. In Chaitanya Charitamrita Antelila 20.21 it says Iva. Taror Iva Sahishnuna. Tolerant like a tree. And other places, it is also mentioned, Taror api sahishnuna. Be more tolerant than a tree also. Amani namanadena kirtaniya sadahari. Amanina. Don't expect any respect from others. And manadena. Give respect to others. Give respect to others. Kirtaniya sadahari. That is the way to be able to chant Sada Krishna Nama Mantra Japa. That's the topic of our discussion. So one should be humble, one should be tolerant, one should be prideless, and one should be respectful. That is the only way to avoid offenses. If we are expecting respect, if we are not giving respect to others, if we are not humble, we don't tolerate, we will end up committing offenses. If we end up committing offenses, then prem ankur will not happen. Love will not sprout. Love will not awaken. Tears will not come to our eyes. So we should be careful not to commit the 10 Namaprads. We don't have time to go through all the Namaprads, but that is important. Prabhupada has explained them from Padma Puran, all the offenses. Now, what if we have already committed offenses? How do we get free from all our 10 types of namaprads? Vaishnava aparad is one of them, satam ninda. But there are so many other 9 namaprads are there. So if we have all committed namaprad, how to get free from namaprad? So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has quoted a verse from Padma Puran to explain how we can get free from the offenses we have already committed. So very important verse from Padma Puran. Srila Prabhupada mentions it in his purport also. Nama paradha yuktanam namaneva harant agham avishranti prayuktani tanevartha karanicha. Even if one has chanted with offenses, even if one may be committing offenses while chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Padma Puran says one will become free from such offenses by avishranti prayuktani, by chanting again and again, incessantly, constantly chanting. Just take Nam Ashray, that hey Nam Prabhu, I don't have anyone other than you. तुम बिन मेरे और न कोई नाम रूप अवतार चरणन में बलिहारी राधे श्याम श्यामा श्याम श्री राधे चरणन में बलिहारी राधे श्याम श्यामा श्याम तुम बिना मेरे और न कोई नाम रूप अवतार. Hey Nam Avatar, hey Nam, you have come in my life. I don't have anybody other than you. I have not seen Radharani. I have not seen Krishna. But I have you, Nam. I have Radha Nam. I have Krishna Nam. I have Hare Krishna with me. I don't have anybody else. If we take this ashray, and therefore because I have nobody else, my Nirantar Nam, I will constantly chant. Kirtane Sadahari. If we chant constantly, trying to cultivate humility, tolerance, pridelessness, and respectfulness, then all our offenses will be forgiven. Padma Puran says this. Nama paradha yuktanam naman eva harant agham avishranti prayuktani tanevartha karancha. Just chant avishranti. Incessantly chant. Just take Nam Ashray. Ab main sirf Naam lunga. I will just devote myself to the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And we sincerely try to avoid offenses. Still, if offenses happen, or the offenses that we have already committed, we will be forgiven. That is the proof from Padma Puran, and Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has quoted this. So actually, I took the topic for today's class from Chaitanya Charitamrita, and I was going to share the verse where this phrase comes, Sada Krsna-Mantra, Japa. Japa Sada Krsna-Mantra. This comes from 7th chapter of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is having conversation with Prakashananda Saraswati. Adi Lila, 7th chapter. And I was going to read that section from verse 49 to 100. It's very beautiful. I was so ambitious. I thought I was going to be able to do that. So this was supposed to be the introduction, different questions about Japa, answers, and then the effect of Japa is really explained in that conversation by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Prakashananda Saraswati. But at least before we end, so I am going to conclude now, but let me at least read that section, and that verse at least, from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Give me 1 second. So I had all this ready at home, but unfortunately, my schedule got changed. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in 5 features, and here we see Mahaprabhu is talking to Prakashananda Saraswati. It is very, very beautiful. So I'm going to read that to you, okay? And these are verse number 69. So please listen carefully. Verse number 6. Okay, you went straight to that verse. Let's read from 69. So Prakashananda Saraswati tells Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Vedanta Pathana Dhyana Sannyasi Radharma Taha Chadi Karake Ne Bhavukera Karma. Are Sannyasi Thakur, you are a disciple of Keshav Bharati Maharaj. You come from don't say you are from a niche sampradaya. You've come from a pretty good sampradaya. And meditation, dhyan, and Vedanta Swadhyaya, study of the Vedanta, are the sole duties of a sannyasi. Why do you abandon to dance with these fanatics? Hare Krishna. Prakasha Surus is telling Mahaprabhu like this. He doesn't know who he is dealing with. He will find out soon. Prabhave dekhiya toma sakshat Narayan, hinachara karakke ne ithe ki karan. Now Mahaprabhu had manifested his prakash. Prakashananda ko prakash pradarshit kiya tha Mahaprabhu ji ne. Mahaprabhu showed his spiritual effulgence. He was very impressed. He says, "You look brilliant. You're effulgent like Lord Narayan himself. Can you explain kindly your behavior? Why you're not associating with us? Why you're not doing Vedanta study? Why you're not doing meditation? Why you're chanting like this?" Now Mahaprabhu is going to speak. Please listen. Verse 71. Prabhu kahe shuna Shripad ihar karan guru more murkha dekhi karila shashan. Oh, Shripad Prakashananda Saraswati, he's giving respect. Mana dena. Giving respect. That my Guru Maharaj saw me to be a great fool, and therefore he instructed me. Ishwar Puripad said. Now, Ishwar Puripad did not actually say, but Mahaprabhu is saying this for the purpose of preaching. He's telling like an allegorical story that I was chastised by my Gurudev. Murkha tumi tomara nahi ka Vedanta adhikar. Murkha tumi tomar nahi Vedanta adhikar. Krsna-Mantra Japa Sada mantra sar. This is the sutra that Mahaprabhu got from his Gurudev Srila Ishwar Puripad. And today is the disappearance of Shripad Madhavendra Puri, the Gurudev of Srila Ishwar Puripad. Aha. And Shripad Madhavendra Puri also was doing Japa when he had darshan of Krishna. So this will be a quiz question. You have to raise your hand and answer this. Okay, but let me finish this. Question is, when did Madhavendra Puri do Japa? And he had darshan of Krishna. Murkha tumi tomar nahi Vedanta adhikar. Krsna-Mantra Japa Sada mantra sar. So Srila Ishwar Puripad said that you must always chant the holy name of Krishna. This is the essence of all mantras, essence of all Vedic hymns. So Krishna-Mantra haite habe samsara mochan, Krishna-Nama haite pabe Krishnera charan. Simply by chanting the holy name of Krishna, one can obtain freedom from material existence. Indeed, simply by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, one will be able to see the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Harivol. So beautiful. Then, Nama vinu kali kale nahi ara dharma, sarva mantra sara name shastra marma. In the age of Kali, there is no religious principle other than chanting the holy name, which is the essence of all Vedic hymns. This is the purport of all the scriptures. Then, Eta bali eka shloka shikhai lamore, kanthe kari e shloka kariha vichare. After describing the potency of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, my spiritual master Shri Ishwar Puripad taught me another verse, advising me to always keep it within my throat. Text 76. Harer nama eva kevalam, kalo nasteva gatiranyatha. For spiritual progress in this age of Kali, there is no alternative. There is no alternative. There is no alternative to the Harinam, the holy name of Lord Krishna. Then, text 77. Ei agya paya naam lay anukshan, nama laite mora bhranta hailaman. Since I received this order from my Gurudev, I'm just chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and my mind is getting completely bewildered, intoxicated, chanting and japa. Dhairya nari hailam utmatta, hasikandi nachi gai jaiche madamatta. While chanting the holy name in pure ecstasy, I lose myself. I laugh, I cry, I dance, I sing like a madman. Tabe dhairya dhari mane karelu vichar, Krishna name jnana channa haila amar. Collecting my patience, therefore, I began to consider that chanting the holy name of Krishna has covered all my knowledge, my spiritual knowledge. I'm going mad. Pagala haila ami dhairya nahi mane, eta chinti nivedilu gurura charane. I saw that I had become mad by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and I immediately submitted this to the lotus feet of my spiritual master. So when we are in some spiritual dilemma, doubt, we should go to Gurudev, not wait. Text 81. Kiba mantra dila gosai kiba tarabal, japite mantra karila pagal. Specifically, my dear friends, I want to point out to the verse. It says japite mantra. Hare Krishna Mahamantra is meant for japa also. By doing japa, we can become mad for Krishna. Please do not think that only Harinam Sankirtan, loudly, Sankirtan is the only way. Paramadya Sarvashresh Nam Sankirtan, yes. But previously also I have described, and I can show you the verses also if you want. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada explains, Bahubis Militva Kirtayati iti Sankirtan. Sankirtan, one definition is many people come together and they sing loudly, that is Sankirtan. No doubt about it. Kirtan means loudly, chanting the names, Leela, qualities, glories of Krishna, that is Kirtan. Loud Kirtan, when many people, so Kirtan is loud, when many people come and do Kirtan, Bahubis Militva Kirtayati iti Sankirtan. When many people come and do Kirtan, it becomes Sankirtan. That is one definition. True. But there is another definition of Sankirtan, which is given by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada in his Tika to the first verse of Sri Chaitanya Shikshashtakam. On Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam, elaborating on the word Sankirtanam, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada says, Sarva Bhavena Kirtayati iti Sankirtan. If somebody with full bhav, full avesh, using all the faculties from the heart is chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, that is also Sankirtan. Samyak Rupena Kirtayati iti Sankirtan. Sarva Bhavena Kirtayati iti Sankirtan. That is also another definition of Sankirtan. And the proof for this, my dear friends, you can go to Chaitanya Charitamrita Antelila, the chapter that is entitled The Glories of Haridas Thakur. I wanted to read that also. I had bookmarked that section also. But there, don't try to pull it up. It's way inside when Maya Devi comes at night to Haridas Thakur. Not in Benapol. That time the prostitute came, Lakshahira. That is different story. But in Shantipur, when Srila Haridas Thakur was living in the cave, at that time also prostitute came. And she was Maya Devi herself. And she tried to tempt him. There was beautiful fragrance, beautiful breeze. She was standing in different postures, exposing bodily parts to attract Haridas Thakur. At that time, Haridas Thakur said that I have taken a vow of Sankirtan and let me finish my... And he's chanting on his Japa Mala. He's doing Japa, but that Japa is Vachik Japa, and that Vachik Japa is called Sankirtan. You can look at Chaitanya Charitamrita, my dear friend, it is there. Not once, 2-3 times the word Sankirtan is used. Haridas Thakur's Japa is called Sankirtan. Even though he's alone, solitary, he's sitting in a cave and doing bhajan. It is called Sankirtan. Because Sarva Bhavena Kirtayati iti Sankirtan. Loud Japa, Vachik Japa is also Kirtan. Please understand. Vachik Japa is Kirtan because it is loud. Loudly chanting the names is Kirtan. Many people come together, that Kirtan becomes Sankirtan. But even one person can do Sankirtan if it is Sarva Bhavena Kirtayati iti Sankirtan. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada has written this. So, and proof is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antelila, where Haridas Thakur's Japa, Vachik Japa is called Sankirtan. So here also you see Japite Japite. What is that verse called? So this is what I wanted to point out to you, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is doing Japa of the mantra he received from his Gurudev. Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Prabhupada explains. And it is said, Kiba mantra dila gosai kiba tarabal, Japite Japite mantra karila pagal. By doing Japa, he is becoming mad. So don't think that Japa is not Sankirtan or Japa cannot be Sankirtan. Only thing is we should not do Japa as Sankirtan in the temple hall when we are chanting with many devotees. It will disturb everybody. We have to be conscientious and sensitive to other people also. But point is, when we chant from the heart, even one person can do Sankirtan while doing Japa. Japa can be Sankirtan. And the proof is Chaitanya Charitamrita, Haridas Thakur's pastime. And here Mahaprabhu is also saying, Japite Japite mantra haila pagal. Asaye nachaye more karaye krandan, etashuni guru hasi balila vachan. Chanting the holy name in ecstasy causes me to dance, laugh and cry. When my spiritual master Sri Ishwar Prabhupada heard all this, he smiled and then began to speak. Hari Hari, Krishna Nama Mahamantre. This is not referring to any other mantra. This is specifically referring to Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Krishna Nama Mahamantre Eita Swabhav Jai Jape. Again, the word Japa is used. I want to point it out. Jai Jape Tara Krishna Upajaye Bhav. Krishna nama maha mantrer eita swabhav jai jape tara Krishna upajaye bhav. It is the nature of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra that anyone who chants, the word japa is used, jai jape Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, tare Krishna upajaye bhav. That person immediately develops loving ecstasy for Krishna. This is the effect of chanting. Krishna Vishayaka Prema Param Purushart Jara Age Trina Tulya Chari Purushart. Religiosity, economic development, sense gratifying, and liberation, Chari Purushart, are known as the four goals of life, Chari Purushart. But compared to love of Godhead, Krishna Prem, which is the fifth goal and the highest goal, Pancham Purushartha, these four appear insignificant as a straw in the street. Trina Tulya Chari Purushart, in comparison to Krishna Vishayaka Prema, which is Parama Purushartha, Krishna Prem. Panchama Purushartha Prema Nandamrita Sindhu Mokshadi Ananda Jara Nahe Eka Bindu. For a devotee who has actually developed bhav, the pleasure derived from dharma, artha, kam and moksha appear like a drop of a sea, nothing. Krishna namera phala prema sarva shastra kahe भाग्य से ही प्रेमा तुम्हारे करिला उदय. वित्त सिद्ध कृष्ण प्रेम साध्य कब होय श्रवणादि शुद्धि चित्ति करिए उदय. The conclusion of all revealed scriptures, sarva shastra kahe, the conclusion of all revealed scriptures is that one should awaken his dormant love of Godhead, dormant love for Krishna. Krishna namera phala prema sarva shastra kahe. Dormant love of Krishna should be awakened, and it is done by the holy name. Clearly it is said. See, Krishna namera phal. What is the fruit of chanting Hare Krishna? Prema. To get prem. Bhagya se hi prema tomaya karila uday. And you are greatly fortunate, my dear child, that you have got Krishna prem. Shri Ishwar Puripat told Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu is narrating. This goes on. I wanted to read till verse number 100, but my phone is going crazy with messages, so I have to go now. But I wanted to share this message with all of you, that this is the beauty of chanting Japa of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So we saw what is Japa, what are the types, what is a mantra, which Japa is the best, is Japa important or not, and what are the precautions we should take while chanting Japa, and what if we have committed offenses, how do we get rid of them? So all this we discussed, and we also discussed that we should constantly do Naam, like the topic is, but at the same time we need to do quality Naam, and that is called Japa, where the mind is on the Japa mantra, the mantra is in the mind and mantra become non-different. That is Japa, Etadhi Japa Lakshanam. Okay, so this is the few words I wanted to share with all of you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and I will stop here. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Maha Mantra ki jai. Gaur Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Very, very grateful. What an amazing session. Complete package. Thank you so much. Prabhu, you're at work, so I'm not sure if you have any time at all. So if you have
not today.
Definitely.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
We can end the film. Very grateful to you, Prabhu.
Dasosmi. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri.
Thank you, Prabhuji, once again for such a beautiful class on this auspicious day of Ekadasi. Ekadasi, we are supposed to chant more with your class. We all got energy to chant more, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. I would like to offer my obeisances to you and all the Vaishnavas assembled on the call. Vancha kalpatarobhyasya kripa sindhu bhyeva chapatitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti Vaishnav vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His Grace Adi Gadadhar Prabhuji ki jai. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Ending the call here, dear devotees. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for